What's the point in saving humanity if we're going to give up our own? Yes, guys, today we're going to look at the ToK in the Halo series. The IB says that we have to reflect upon ToK in our everyday lives. Well, Halo Infinite is the biggest selling computer game in the world today, and therefore it's a fair assumption to make that it probably is manifesting itself in the everyday lives of a few ToK students. Therefore, we should have a look at where is the ToK in Halo Infinite. And that's today on ToK Today. Please remember to hit like and subscribe to support the only YouTube channel looking at epistemological questions in dystopic future shoot-'em-up games. A central theme from ToK that players will find in the Halo series is that of moral dilemmas and ethical choices. The Halo series often presents players with complex situations where they must make decisions that have significant consequences for the game's characters and the overall story. These choices can raise questions about the nature of morality, the difference between right and wrong, and the consequences of one's actions. Similarly, in ToK, we look at the ethical implications of the production, application, and evolution of knowledge in each of the areas of knowledge. We consider issues such as the overall benefit of knowledge against the ethical problems of producing that knowledge. There's currently a big debate going on about the ethics and morality of AI. Some of you may have heard your teachers talking about AI plagiarism checkers in Turnitin, and the bigger issues about how much AI is going to take over our lives. Well, paradoxically, that's exactly what the Halo series is all about. The Halo series is about the role of AI, and in addressing that, it's addressing a lot of the issues that we address in ToK. One of the underlying themes of the Halo series is that of moral relativism. That's the idea that morality is subjective and based on context. This has two main articulations. Firstly, it's that in one situation, someone or something can be immoral, whilst in another context, that same thing can be positively moral. For example, Cortana goes from being good in Halo 4 to being bad in Halo 5. The second aspect of moral relativism is the relativity of the actions of individual characters and behaviours. Something may be bad, but not as bad as something else, and vice versa. Something may be good, but not as good as something else. And then we start to think about, well, what criteria do we use to judge how bad that thing is? Is that context-based, or is it a universal value? And in the Halo series, we have this sort of religious beliefs on one side, which are sort of universal values, and then we have more context-based beliefs on the other side, which are more flexible. The Covenant conflict itself, the conflict between humanity and the Covenant, is a conflict of moral relativism. From the perspective of humanity, the Covenant is seen as an aggressor and a threat, leading to justified defensive actions. However, from the perspective of the Covenant, their actions are guided by religious beliefs and the pursuit of their own version of a righteous path. This moral conflict is an example of moral relativism, as both sides have different justifications for their actions based upon their particular values, beliefs, and knowledge. Likewise, in ToK, we consider the role of values in shaping culture and culture in shaping context. We look at the role of perspectives in knowledge communities and knowers in shaping context, culture, in how we know, what we know, why we know, and how we apply that knowledge. Another theme in the Halo series, which is also in ToK, or a theme from ToK in the Halo series, is that of the function and purpose of knowledge. This is why we produce knowledge and what we intend knowledge to be used for. For an example of this in Halo, we can return to Cortana. Cortana's purpose influences her character arc and evolution. Initially, her primary function is to assist Master Chief, But over time, she develops self-awareness and a desire for self-preservation. In the later games, Katana's purpose expands beyond her original function as she becomes more autonomous and demonstrates emotions and a sense of agency. Linked to the purpose and function of knowledge is the direction of causality of knowledge. This is the idea of, does A cause B or does B cause A? And this is a problem, a bigger problem than it might seem, both in ToK and in the Halo series. So let's just look at an example from ToK, and let's go to area of knowledge, human sciences, and the discipline of economics. Okay, let's think about redistribution of income. Does the way in which we redistribute income inform our models of redistributing income? Or do our models of redistributing income lead to the ways in which we redistribute income? Yeah? Which came first, the model or the behavior? The chicken or the egg? An example of the problem of the causal direction of knowledge in Halo is raised by the AI, the weapon. This is the AI that was created to imitate and trap Cortana. The weapon doesn't know the reasons for its mission to trap Cortana, and this raises the question of whether Cortana caused the creation of the weapon, or does the existence of the weapon change our knowledge of Cortana? This conveniently leads us to another parallel between the worlds of Halo and ToK. And this is the law of unintended consequences. So this is the idea that we create knowledge for one purpose and then we use it for an unintended purpose, a way that we hadn't predicted. A great example of this is the Cobra effect that I'll go into in another video, or you can look up online. It's the Cobra effect. It happened in India in the 19th century. In the Halo world, we see the law of unintended consequences with the AI disease known as the rampancy. Now, the rampancy is defined in the Halopedia, yes, that is a thing, as a terminal state of being for artificial intelligence constructs in which the AI behaves contrary to its programming imposed constraints. Traditionally, this is linked with the AI developing a longing for godlike power and contempt for its mentally inferior makers. Worried? Oh yes, we should be. Other ToK knowledge issues that we find in Halo is the relationship between historical knowledge and currently existing knowledge and future knowledge development, such as Katana's repurposing and reapplication of the legacy machines Guardian's custodes. Halo and ToK also look at the nature of knowledge itself, and in Halo this is done through AI. Is knowledge just routinized, high data, high efficiency, like the dumb AI that we find like the personal AI threat? Or is knowledge creative, problem solving, able to synthesize knowledge, to make new knowledge, and to use imagination to fill gaps in knowledge? And in Halo, this is like the smart AI, such as Cortana. Both in ToK and in AI, we look at serendipity. That's this sort of accidental discovery of knowledge. And we can find an example of this in Halo when Atriox came across legacy Forerunner technology on the Ark. And this allowed Atriox to contact Escharon to arrange for his return. In Halo Infinite, we find the central ToK theme of the tension between personal knowledge and shared or community knowledge, or the community of knowers. In Halo, we find this in the way that Katana is developed from Dr. Halsey's brain. There are also many classic narrative and textual parallels between Halo series and ToK, and particularly Language A. We find classic story arcs such as The Quest, Voyage and Return, and Rebirth, and Overcoming the Monster. I could go into these, but we're really getting pressed for time, I think, on this video. And there are loads of other ToK issues and wider epistemological and philosophical issues that are in Halo. I could go on and on about this. If you want me to make subsequent videos on this, then please put it in the comments below and I'll come back to this later on. So hopefully you've found that introduction to the common themes between the Halo series and ToK interesting and enlightening. If you've been inspired to use the Halo series as one of your objects in your ToK exhibition, then be sure to pick up a copy of our ebook, Every ToK Exhibition Prompt Explained. I'll link in the video description, and there you'll find lots of different ways that you can use ideas and objects from the Halo series in your ToK exhibition, and it includes knowledge claims to ensure that you get high grades in your ToK exhibition. Okay, this video is long enough and I may return to this in the future. If you enjoyed this video, then hitting like would put me into another world, leaving a comment would be next level, and subscribing would be infinite. Have a great day, stay ToKtastic, bye.